Assalamualaikum. Hi students. Okay, welcome back to my English lesson class with Miss Ayuni. So in today's video, we are going to learn about tenses. So we are going to learn about grammar in this video. So tenses, there are three, which are present, past, and future. So we are going to learn about these three tenses. So in this video, we are going to learn about present tense. We are going to cover simple, continuous, and perfect present tense. For past tense, we are going to cover simple past tense and continuous past tense. And then for future, we are going to learn about simple future tense. And lastly, in this video, we are going to talk about the activities that you are going to do after we have finished with these presentation slides. Okay, everyone? So without any further ado, let's start with the first tense, which is present tense. Alright, so in this table, as you can see, we are going to talk about the tenses. And then I'm going to give you a few examples in the affirmative or positive sentence. And then I also will give you and explain to you the negative sentence and also the time expression that indicates which tenses these are. Alright, so for the first tenses, which is simple present tense. So what is simple present tense? Simple present tense is a habitual actions or occurrences or an action that happens regularly. So it means that simple present tense is a tense that tells you this action happens almost every day and it keeps going on and on. It's like your habit. Okay? So here are the rules of when you want to use simple present tense. So for plural and for you and I, okay, you are going to use the root form of the verb, as you can see here. And then for singular nouns, okay, you are going to add on the verb behind the verb s or es, depending on the verb itself. Okay, let's take a look at the first example for affirmative or positive sentence. I have color-coded each sentences based on the types of whether it is singular nouns, plural nouns. Okay, so for the first example is for plural noun. Okay, so as you can see here, when you use I, you, and plural noun, okay, the verb will be in its root forms. I, you, we, they watch Avenger movie series sometimes. And for singular, she, he, Arisha watches. As you can see here, okay, the verb we add on es. Avenger movie series sometimes. Okay, as for negative we add on words that indicates that they are not going to do it. Okay, for example, for the first example, I, you, we, the plural noun, do not. So for plural noun as for I and you, we use do not. Do not watch Avenger movie series sometimes. And for singular, we use does not. So when we use does not, it indicates that the subject is singular. And as for the time expression, okay, we use never, usually, often, or sometimes. So when you see these time expressions, okay, it is a simple present tense. Alright, so let's take a look at the second tense, which is continuous present tense. So continuous present tense indicates an action or a condition that is happening right now, frequently, and may continue into the future. For example, like me, right now I am teaching you tenses. So my action right now is a continuous present tense. So let's take a look at the rule. So for the subject, when the subject is I, which is I, okay, so the verb to be, you will use am. And for you and plural nouns, okay, you are going to use are. And for singular noun, you are going to use is. Alright, so let's take a look at the affirmative sentence. I am watching adventure movies now. You, they, we are watching adventure movies now. And the singular, she, he, Layla is, so look at the difference, okay, is watching adventure movies now. Alright, so as for the negative, okay, for I, we will use am not. So it's the same goes to the plural and for singular as well. We just add on the word not, okay, at the back of the verb to be word, as you can see here. So I am not watching, you, they, we are not watching, and she, he, Layla is not watching. Okay, and so for the time expression, okay, we use now or at the moment. So at the moment and not bring the same meaning, which is right now. Okay, let's take a look at the present perfect tense. So present perfect tense, it refers to an action or a state that either occurred of an indefinite time in the past or began in the past and continued to the present time. So basically, to make it simpler, present perfect tense is an action that happened in the past, but you don't know when exactly did it happen. So you don't know the time of it. So, for example, I have washed the laundry, but I don't know when. So you are just going to say, I have washed the laundry. When you say, I have washed the laundry yesterday, that it is wrong. Okay, so let's take a look at the rules. Okay, so for perfect present tense, you will have to add on the has and have, and then the verb must be in past participle. Okay, so for I, you, and plural noun, so here is the subject. Okay, if the subject is I, you, plural nouns, you will have to use have, and then plus the verb in past participle. And for singular noun, you will have to use has and the verb participle as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the affirmative sentence. I, you, they, we have watched Avenger movie series already. She, he, Zikri has watched Avenger movie series recently already. Okay, for negative, I, you, they, we have not. So we still use the same have and has. We only add on the not word at the back, behind, or after the word have. So for singular, she, he, Zikri has not watched Avenger movie series. So that is when we want to use negative to make it negative. Okay, so here is the time expression: for, since, yet, never, always, so far, many times, lately, recently, and already. So here is the example for present tense. Right, everyone? Okay, let me erase all. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so here is the list of verbs in its present, past, and past participle. So as you can see here, there are three. So regular verbs mean get the past participle will only will only add on the ed word, ed, 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 as you can see here. Okay, we only add on the ed word. So that is regular verb. Okay, it's the same as the past. So remember, for past for regular verbs, the past and participle will be in the same form. Okay, we just add on the ed. All right. Okay. Okay. For the next one, so here is for irregular verbs. So for irregular verb, the past and the past participle are not the same. Okay, the form for each tenses are different. Okay, as you can see here, the past form for awake is awoke, and for past participle for awake is awoken. So basically for past participle, it's either we add on en, okay, or un, or it is totally changed, as you can see here. So sometimes there are verb that does not change at all. For example, beat, 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 bat, bat, bat. Okay, you can get more of the examples in the internet. All right, everyone. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So we are going to look into past tense. So here we are going to look into simple past tense and past continuous tense. So for simple past tense, it means a verb tense that is used to talk about things that happened or existed before now. So basically it is an action that is already happened, that had already happened. Okay, so for simple past tense, we just add on the verb ed, or if it's in irregular verb, sometimes the form does not change. Okay, for example, read. Okay, the past tense for read is also spelled read. Only the pronunciation is pronounced as read. Okay, so let's take a look at the affirmative sentence for simple past tense. So you saw a big eagle flying yesterday. He saw a big eagle flying yesterday. And we saw a big eagle flying yesterday. As you can see here, the verb to be for each subject is the same. Even though it is plural, it's singular. Okay, the verb to be is the same. Okay, so for negative, we add on did not. So you did not see a big eagle flying yesterday. He did not see a big eagle flying yesterday. And we did not see a big eagle flying yesterday. Okay, so remember everyone, when you use did, okay, did not or did, okay, the action must be in root form. Okay, for example here, did not see. So you cannot say did not saw. You must say did not see. Okay, so the time expression for simple past tense is yesterday, 2 days ago, and last weekend. Okay, very simple. And let's take a look at past continuous tense. For past continuous tense, okay, it refers to a continuing action or state that was happening at some point in the past. So meaning that it is an action that is happening in the past. Okay, so let's take a look at the rules. For subject, singular, and I, we use was, and the verb we add on ing. And for you and plural, we use were as the verb to be, and the verb we also added on ing. Let's take a look at the affirmative sentence. I, she, he, and Nali was seeing. As you can see here, we add on ing for the action verb. A big eagle flying while playing in the park. You, they, we were seeing a big eagle flying while playing in the park. So let's take a look at the negative. I, she, he, Ali was not seeing a big eagle flying while playing in the park. You, they, or other plural nouns were not seeing a big eagle flying while playing yesterday. So for the time expression, we use while. Okay. So that is all for past tense. So let's take a look at future tense. So we are going to cover but will and be going to. So for will, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at what is future simple tense first. So future simple tense, it means a verb tense that is used to talk about things that have not happened yet, meaning that the action has not happened. So for will, okay, we use the verb in its root form. For example, I will leave to Perak tomorrow. For singular, she, he, or Alicia will leave to Perak tomorrow, and they or we will leave to Perak tomorrow. Very simple, right? And for negative, just add on not, okay, after the word will. And won't is the short form for will not. So I will not leave to Perak tomorrow. I won't leave to Perak tomorrow. It's the same. She, he, Alicia will not or won't leave to Perak tomorrow, and they or we will not or won't leave to Perak tomorrow. So basically, very simple. Okay, just add on the word not, okay, at the back of the word will. So for the time expression, for will, later, tomorrow, and soon. Okay, lastly, be going to. So for be going to, we have to look at the subject. So for I, we are going to use am. And for the verb, we are also going to add on ing. Okay, if the subject is singular, okay, the verb to be is, and the verb we also add on ing. And for plural, okay, we use are, and the verb is also the same. Okay, let's take a look at the affirmative sentence for the subject I. I am going to Perak next week. She, he, Sheila is. Look, she or he or Sheila is going to Perak next week. And for plural, you, they, we, okay, are going to Perak next week. So as you can see here, when you use you on plural, okay, we are going to use the verb to be are, and then the verb we are going to add on ing. Alright, so for negative, it's the same, only that we only have to add not. So I am not going to Perak next week. The singular, she, he, Sheila is not going to Perak next week. And you, they, we are not going to Perak next week. So for the time expressions for be going to, okay, so here is the time expression. Alright, so that is all for the simple future tense. Alright, so let's talk about your activities. So first one, open your past book, page 99. Go to question number 1, 2, and 4. So here is question number 1. Okay, first of all, you have to copy the table in your notebook. Okay, and then you are going to complete this section here. So this is question number 1. So you will have to write the negative sentence for these tenses. There is already an example for present simple tense. Crocodiles do not or don't attack people. So you will have to complete the rest. So for present continuous, okay, they are traveling around Australia. Okay, just write down the complete sentence. Okay, make sure it is in negative form. So when you use negative, okay, you are going to add on the not, the did, and anything, okay, that we have learned in this lesson. All right, so for question number 2, all right, you are going to add on the time expression into this table here. So take a look at the time expression here and decide which time expression, okay, is for the tenses. Okay, so basically you are just going to fill in the blanks in the table here. All right, very simple. Okay, for question number 4, okay, here you are going to add on verbs in the correct tense or form for each question here. So as you can see here, you are going to fill in the verb in the blank spaces here. Okay, for example, for question number 1, every day represent present tense. Simple present tense means it happens almost every day. So the verb will be in root form. For example, I eat every day. So for the second question, look at the time expression. At the moment means what? So look back at the first slides. Okay, so you will get the answer. So just fill in here with the correct verb for the tenses. Very simple. And lastly, you are going to take a picture of your answers, okay, and submit it to me through WhatsApp. All right. And lastly, you're going to do a very short quiz. Okay, there are like 7 questions only. So you will go to this link, click this link. Okay, I will give this link in the WhatsApp group. Okay, and then you are going to choose the right tense or tenses for each sentence. Very simple, very simple. Okay, it is all based on what we have learned for in this class. So that is all for me. Thank you for watching. So if you have any question, okay, you may just chat me. All right. Alright, so the end. Thank you. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone.